and MK homes, just build it into the cost. You don't even see, they don't even put a builder fee in there. So when they pay their soft cost draw, they'll draw those line items, pay it out to you guys, they're in the whole bit, they're okay to do it.
Yeah. I've never sold a house with MK Homes, but I've talked, what's the owner's name? Michael?
Mike.
Mike, yeah, I've talked to him.
And they're prickly, don't get me wrong.
No, I was gonna say, he actually was phenomenal. He was so kind. He was so, like, he actually offered to let me come out to one of the neighborhoods and do a bunch of like social media stuff. So he's super, super nice, but I didn't follow up. But
yeah.
I would rather
guys, we're going to get started. I've got the recording going, but we can continue to talk, especially after we get done. But I've got some people joining us online. Angela and Taja and Brian have joined us online. Thank you guys for being there. This is a little bit weird because the foundation is, I could show you pictures, and if you guys haven't been by the house, I set off the alarm because I couldn't get to the alarm. So the back 3 offices do not have floors. There are walls, like where our storage closet is hanging up in the air. It looks like something out of a movie because there's nothing, just dirt underneath there. And it's a 1.5 foot drop.
That's how construction, or didn't we just redo the foundation?
We had some work done underneath the podcast room, but when that building was built behind us, they channeled all of their water to underneath our house, and that accentuated and accelerated the mold and the actual just rotting away of our beams. And we had the old beams that were like, they're manufactured, so they've got a piece of wood and then there's cardboard. It's wood, but it's, and then another thing, so those just literally rotted away. And I'm looking at all the things they're pulling out, and a lot of it has just been foamed, like they're trying to stop it from molding. So it's in bad shape, but we are going to we're going to have that all remedied hopefully by the end of next week. So next week we'll probably meet remote as well. I've asked McKnight, Liz over at McKnight, to let us meet there, but I haven't heard back from her. But we're going to meet someplace else next week because we still won't be able to get in the office. There's quite a bit of stuff to do. To that end, I want to thank you all for joining us today. Sean has graciously allowed us to use this beautiful office and provide us with some breakfast and coffee. If you guys were here, you could partake as well, but we understand. To that end, it's Sean. Let me introduce, you guys know Sean, but here's his information. That's his cell phone number. And Sean, I've got your stuff pulled up, the 3 you sent me, so we can go through those individually.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the main thing, right now, one thing I want to say that has come up, questions, we were talking about rates. Unfortunately, the talk of tariffs and things like that, it is looking like rates are going to at least temporarily go up, or the fear of the Fed possibly raising rates to compensate for anticipated inflation. That is a real thing. I'm saying this from a marketing perspective. I'm going to use it to market people to get them off the fence, because especially for me, I do a lot of construction. Lumber goes up, metal goes up, imports, all our appliances, all the other things. People don't realize the effect of it until they go to build a house. So I think all these things are factors, rates. I mean, use it to your advantage marketing. I'll be posting some stuff about this. So use it to your advantage, share it, whatever else, get people off the fence. It still pays off. I mean, I've given you guys like at times the math of do this, and then this will save you in the long run. But so I think rates are coming up. These programs that I input in here, I will just tell you that I have been marketing this zero down. We have a couple of zero down options. I've been kind of like marketing zero down option. One is in Parker County, there's lots of areas around Brock ISD that are USDA qualified zero down homes. You get up into the about 400,000 range, which isn't a lot of houses out there that are new construction. But for people that are looking for zero down options, USDA is still out there, and the rates are in the low 6s to mid 6s. Yeah, they're not bad. It's zero down and no mortgage insurance.
Yep.
There's a couple of things.
I didn't realize about the no mortgage, and also Springtown has that. They do have.
They do in Springtown. I'm the north part of Parker County. It's up there, and almost Mineral Wells is wit in that area. So, and then in the city, I talked last time. I came out about a program, especially a community reinvestment program for our bank. They look at where we're not serving underserved communities, and there's an area, a huge area in both Dallas and Fort Worth that is basically the near south area. Yeah, the USDA flyer, just some information more for you in there to look at how it looks. And it has links in there where you can check a property status to see if it's in a USDA census tract area. If you go back to the other flyer, So this is a zero down program that we have. This is just a conventional loan with zero down. We can go down to a 620 credit score with zero down and no mortgage insurance, and the rates are in the low sevens on it. So, but this is in areas like near South, Meadowbrook area. Again, use it for marketing. I have gotten calls every time I post about this. I've gotten calls. I have not closed one of them yet, but I've gotten deals out of it. I've closed several that ended up just going FHA. They couldn't find something in that area. What they really wanted was something else. And I had veterans call me. You know, I had a lot of things that there was other ways to accomplish what they wanted, but please use it for marketing. Just market that you've got some zero down option. You guys, every single person on this call and here has a friend that would be interested in finding out about zero down options and where to get those houses and to be an expert in the area. And I can help guide you with some simple things on kind of where those areas are if you're interested. Use it for marketing. I would bet that everybody here in a month will pick out one customer if they just market the zero down options. Like, you're looking at being out in the country, I got zero down. You're looking at being in the city, I got zero down, you know, and that's all. I think that's all you need to do. And then, oh, the third thing is we are inevitably heading towards a very competitive market again. Some of the programs that there's one that we're working with called HomeLight that is approved, that we have approved as a bank. It's one of the, you guys love these, where the customer gets their house a guaranteed buyout price. Now, if you've worked with those in the past as a realtor, you can get screwed out of that deal big time, and you can get screwed out of your money. This company has plenty of funding. They're not going to run out of money, but the main thing is they can get a guaranteed buyout of their house for the cost of the payoff of that house. They have to have 30% equity. There's a few qualifiers and a few ways to get around that. But the bottom line is those programs are going to become an issue again. Like, when rates hit, that we are just bottlenecking this massive group of people that are going to need housing. So we have started preparing and gotten approved with this company called HomeLight that will buy out the house. They buy it at a price, and then at 4 months they officially pay that mortgage off. But we can qualify them for the new house, not counting that loan in there. They offer bridge loans as well to pull equity out in advance if possible. There's some things you can do, but the most important thing is that you can remain the realtor on that listing. Even if it's past the 4 months, they still write the contract for it. Even after 4 months, you could still sell the house. And when it sells, they are given, they get a 2.4% fee or a minimum of $9,000 out of that deal. But I do think we're heading back to a situation where we're going to need that again. I think it'll happen quick. I mean, based on application traction on our side, which means that people that are gearing up for spring, we're going to be there's just not enough inventory unless people just decide they're going to sell their houses really quick and it all matches up at the same time this demand hits, which would be great for everybody, you know. But if it doesn't, then it's going to be no contingency offers. And I just had one of these close. It worked great. It's very easy to work with. I fill out some information. Again, the main thing is they got to have at least 30% equity in the departing residence. And then we can exclude that out of their debt ratio so that they can qualify for the new house and have a guaranteed buyout. And again, you as a realtor, as a seller on that property, you don't lose that deal. Even if it goes 6 months, 8 months before it actually sells, you could still hang on to that listing.
But the seller has 2 payments now.
No, because once they buy out that property, they take that thing over at a certain date where they take over the payment on it.
Okay.
So they do get out of the payment, everything like that. We exclude it completely from their debt ratio with that.
Mhm.
But the fearful part when I first heard about it was all they're offering, like for this customer, they had a $480,000 house and they only have $325,000. So basically they have a contract that says they're buying out that house for $325,000. We exclude it, but then it has provisions on there that even after the 120 days when they officially buy it and make it their property, the house can stay listed with the agent that it was listed with. But they're still going to get their minimum of $9,000 or 2.4. Again, that's HomeLight is the company, and it's not something that's approved with us, has anything to do with us. It's just one. What we care about in it is that they have the money to be able to carry it. We're carrying it because there's a lot of fly-by-night companies that they love doing it. They buy these up, their money ties up, and all of a sudden they can't afford payments, and we end up in a problem. Right? And
so let me make sure I'm understanding. Essentially, HomeLight buys the house. They buy the remaining loan balance. House stays on the market. Then does the proceeds less the 9,000 or the 2.4% go back to the client?
Yes, it does go back to the client. So the realtor could still get paid in that event. Any profit that's made after your realtor fee and the 2.4% would go back to the client. So, it's kind of like, other than the 2008, like you got a house in Nevada where the house all of a sudden sells 30% below price or something. That just has never happened here. But so it's hard to imagine that scenario. It's like we have so many bigger problems of apocalyptic nature.
Right.
Foreclosure doesn't even matter at that point financially. But it's just I think it's going to be an inevitable means, and seems like a smoother process where they really, handle it in a way that, if the customer has to have a 620 credit score. I mean, there's a few little requirements, but they aren't that tough. Mainly has to do with equity. Again, I would use it more for a marketing standpoint. They may not all qualify for it, and not everybody should do it. Really is what it comes down to.
We got about 5 minutes left. Do you want to hit this one, the down payment rundown? That was your third flyer?
That one I put in there just because I think for people, I was just added in there because there's a new flyer that came out. There's a lot of incentives for people that are moving here, that I'm seeing. And so I added that in there. Again, it's really just something from, gifts from family. Again, ways that people have not explored. It's like what ended up happening is I advertised 0 down, right? They end up going FHA because they find out that they can get a gift from a family member. Right. They didn't even know that. The stuff that you wouldn't think to mention to a customer. Builders are guilty of it too. They see somebody driving a $70,000 truck and they overestimate the financial acumen of their customer because they drive a $70,000 truck. It's like, that customer has $10,000 in the bank and is trying to buy $1 million house. They got plenty of retirement. They make $30,000 a month, but they have no liquidity, So, just don't overestimate your clients. I do think that, diving too far into the weeds can be tough, but like borrowing against their retirement savings, half the customers I talk to, they don't even realize they can do that. They don't know that. Getting money from gift, especially. There are some grants, I would say dodge those, but I would market that you have them.
I bought mine on a grant.
Out of them.
I bought mine on one and it was great.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them, but the ones like from the county that I've dealt with,
those
terrible.
are to jump through.
They got turned down like 20 minutes for closing on that one. Like that hurt.
Wow.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah, it was like the morning of closing. We'd already sent docs out, and all of a sudden they're like, "Well, we analyzed your checking account on their new bank statement, and it looks like they're projected to make more money this year." It's like, what calculate? You found a way to turn this down
to do
the day of
it.
closing. Anyways, so those can make me crazy, but I do think, again, I would at least be advertising that you may have 0 down. You may have alternative means that they haven't explored yet on how they can meet that down payment. That's their biggest objection. And they're probably overestimating the effect of rates, and how it will affect their deal. Rates, property taxes, we're talking about those customers. That's a bigger factor. And right now, homeowners insurance, the rate is not the thing, but that's what people are hung up on is the rate. They still are, So anyways.
Thank you, Sean, for the information. I've got these flyers linked. They'll go out in Slack later today for you guys to use that. Highly recommend Sean. He's a great guy to work with. If you guys haven't worked with him, he's just wonderful to work with.
And advise your clients about rates. Definitely, I do think we've got that coming. So push them,
it's time
in the near term. Most companies like ours are offering refinances when rates drop, where it'll cost them $1,500 to refinance. It is not as big of a factor the short term. But if they get into the bidding war, where all of a sudden you got no contingency, got to close in 8 days, and all the fun that we had back then that interest rate is not going to matter when you have to offer $20,000 over list price. So.
Absolutely. Okay, so core value today is, because our house is under construction at this point, we're faithful to the idea of restoration. Everything we do should have the end goal of seeing restoration includes houses and offices and communities restored to what they once were, relationships restored and flourishing, neighborhoods improved, employee-employer relationships healthy and encouraging, and even seeing the way a business can operate restored with purpose and mission beyond just profit. Every aspect of our business and how we operate should be restorative in nature. And I think that that's something that we all have keyed on. That's one of the reasons that we're here, is the restoration that we see. But hopefully we'll see that restoration in the next 10 days in our office. So that was my goal this week. Okay, so next week, like I said, we're probably going to be at McKnight Title if I can work that out. If not, I'll let you guys know where we are. Jamie Ice is going to be with us next week for about 45 minutes, and he's going to be talking about AI and how he's using AI. So there's a lot of stuff there that's coming to that same thing. One Home AI. Have you guys tried that yet?
No.
Okay, so
I saw a commercial on it on the
trying to
Super
figure out
Bowl.
where it was at.
huh?
I was trying to figure out where it was
The
at.
One Home Portal is app itself.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the app itself. So you can go into One Home and then load a picture, and it will pull other houses that look like that.
I just
Zillow's
Google
doing it
searched
too.
the other day and did it, but
Yeah.
I thought I was trying to find it in here.
So next Wednesday is spring headshots at the Lumen Room on College Avenue. I've got one slot open at 2:40. If somebody would like to have that 2:40 time, sign up through the link that I'll put in, was in your Tuesday morning email, because Monday night Brian forgot to send it, to be honest with you. So Tuesday morning email is there. The link is in there, and I'll also send it out today in the follow-up in Slack. 2 weeks away, we're going to have the ReChat email campaign unveiled. Kristen's going to be with Jimmy, and they're going to take care of that for us in 2 weeks. Hopefully we'll be back at the office by then. 6th Avenue was nominated in several categories for Fort Worth favorite, which is with the Star Telegram. So we're going to be sharing some links on that. Voting starts Monday and runs through March the 7th, I think it is. So I'll be sending out links for that so you guys can go and vote for 6th Avenue. I'm not going to show the video that I showed last week. I just wanted to remind you that the One Home AI is there.
Hi, everybody. My
And it's
name is
gonna try
Dave
to
Marsh.
play
I'd like to
you.
welcome
Hang
you to this one.
Next Sunday is okay,
The
the 19th.
19th, and we have one open slot at 2:40 is the only time I have left open. Let's talk about the market. So residential construction spending in December came in 1.5% ahead of the month before. Seasonally adjusted annual rate was 6% ahead of December last year. So the builders are betting on that they're going to need inventory. So we're starting to see them pick up a little bit. We've seen it for the last couple of months, but it's continuing. Inventories are expected to normalize in 40% of the country's markets this year. I don't know if that really includes DFW, because we still got more inventory right now than we've had in several years, probably since before pandemic. We're at those levels. So we're looking good on inventory. Realtor.com reported last week that new listings grew 4.2%. Inventory was 26% higher than a year ago, and the median listing price fell 1% annually, marking 36 straight weeks with the median price flat or down year over year. So houses are not appreciating as quickly, which is great news for our buyers. Not as great news for our sellers, but they're maintaining. So it's still good news in the market. So review of last week, we were up and down all over the market. Continued concerns over inflation and tariffs. Sean was mentioning tariffs. I think that that's going to affect some of the building products that we're getting from Canada, timber and things like that we get from Canada, as long as some of the things coming from Mexico. The tariffs are going to hit us there. I saw a report this morning that the car manufacturers are worried about metal prices and how that's going to affect car prices. So some of the tariffs that are being put in place, if they happen, we'll see. But keep in mind, modest 143,000 new farm payrolls were added in January. Healthy jump in average hourly earnings bodes well for consumer spending. Productivity is rising, which should help check inflation. So let's hope that inflation stays checked so that the Fed doesn't decide to raise their rate, which inadvertently would affect us in some way. The national average 30-year fixed mortgage rate fell for the third straight week last week. This week's forecast, we're looking at the mortgage applications, mortgage bankers applications as they come in. I think it's this afternoon. We'll see what the new numbers are. Economists expect inflation to remain decidedly above the Fed's 2% target in both the CPI and the PPI. Slowing economy, which the Fed wants to see, should be reflected in January retail sales forecast to show no gain over December. So that is good news that they might hold the line. Speaking of holding the line, here's the new numbers. So last week they were saying 62% felt that the Fed, this number, and you people have to online, sorry, bottom left-hand corner is where I'm looking. June 18th, last week they were saying 62% of the people think that they would drop rates. Now it's down to 50% say they're going to drop rates. So it's flexing a little bit, but we're holding steady until June. So let's get the people off the fence. I was going to put Sean's rates up here because I wanted him to be included in this. His rates, they don't want them publishing direct rates. They're going to give us a range. So when Sean gives me those, I'll publish those to you as well. Just so you can see Ryan over at New American, he's doing 7.01. That was from Monday. So Kevin Russell, we've talked about several weeks. His first-time home buyers, they're down at 6.125. So if you got a first-time home buyer and you're not using Sean with a zero down going out into USDA or in the near South Side or Meadowbrook area, you can continue to look around for rates and what they're doing. Business tip of the week: if you want to be more successful, you have to step out of your comfort zone. Nothing great happens there. And if a big ambition you want to pursue makes you feel uncomfortable, see it as your path to greatness, believe in yourself, and go do it. Did you know more than 1 million new homes were built last year and inventory keeps growing? Plus, the median listing price fell year over year and remained competitive with existing homes on a per square foot basis. You know how I feel about per square foot. It's the last thing that an appraiser looks at. But it's something that that most people like, well, that house down the street sold for $182 a square foot, so mine's worth $1.5 million. Well, you've got a 1,400 square foot house. No, it's not. Okay, so practical application. I'm going to hit this again because there's still a lot of confusion about paragraph 5A and 5B. I've had several conversations with agents this week. One thing that I said in passing actually kind of stuck in my brain. 5A is the old way. Pretty easy to remember. So 5B is the new way. On the 5A, you need a 2402. And then at the bottom of page 10, someone let me let him in. That's our RealScout people. Give me, hey, Bart's in. Very good. Welcome, Bart. We're finishing up our meeting here. We'll be with you in about 5 minutes, if that's okay. So 5A, you need a 2402, which is a broker-to-broker compensation agreement, and you put 3% at the bottom of page 10 like you always did. Nothing goes in paragraph 12. 5B means you need to put something in paragraph 12. Nothing goes at the bottom of page 10, and you need to provide a buyer's representation agreement to the title company to see how much you're getting paid.
Okay, but so on 5B, we don't submit the 2402.
Correct.
Okay.
The 2402 is only for the old way of putting 3% at the bottom of page 10, and you need a 2402. That's it. That's if they did a broker-to-broker transaction on the listing agreement. If the listing agent did the other way, which is 5B, meaning that it's a seller to buyer broker, now you've got to prove how much your buyer is paying in compensation to you. Now, whether you negotiate that with the seller in paragraph 12 or not, that's up to you. But that's why they need the 1501 or the 1507 on 5B.
So if the seller is paying half of the commission and buyer's paying half, is it an amendment to the buyer agreement?
No.
Because it's still 3%. I think they'll just deduct whatever comes out of the contract and then build a buyer for the rest.
Oh, okay. So then I just have to send the buyer agreement to the title company.
Let them see how much you're getting there.
And then they'll do it just like any other line.
Okay.
Ashley, you have a question? You can unmute.
If it's not that.
Yeah, yeah, just a quick question.
Ashley,
Brian,
I
what's-
cannot hear you. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
We're using a new thing here at this office. If you want to put it in the
Okay.
chat, I'll be glad to talk to you about that
Okay, sounds
and,
good.
and call messages because I can't hear you. I'm sorry. And that's going to be bad for Bart too. I wonder, let
Maybe just, yeah.
I think it's, yeah.
me see if this works. Hang on.
Hi, Brian.
I know it's not. I'm trying.
Nobody go grab a shot up there.
I can't get the volume up.
Can you hear me now?
Hello, hello.
Is your volume on, Brian, on your left?
It is. I'm all the way up here.
Oh,
Oh, it says it's at 100.
Yeah.
98,
Where do you
I
see
can
that?
hear you. I can hear you, Bart.
That's
Okay.
Okay, that's my
Hear you,
volume
Ash.
coming up. Bart, I'm so sorry, man. We're trying to get everything on here and it's not working.
He's talking.
Uh-oh.
The TV itself, I'm wondering if they
Yeah,
have a speaker.
same-
Yeah.
Same thing, this is Brian, I can hear Ashley and Bart.
Well, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Y'all hang on just a second. I'm going to unplug. I'm gonna change the video over to my computer and at least we can hear it on my computer. I know that that'll work. Y'all give me just a second. Yeah, it's full on. Let me,
You can change sound to your-
Oh.
okay, somebody talk. Let me see if I can hear you.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing.
We have outstanding. Bart, today we're had to meet, our office is under construction. And so we had to meet at one of our lenders' offices. And so we're winging this completely.
Got it.
Ashley, if you want to ask your question now, that'd be fine.
Yeah, sure. I was just gonna ask, like, so when you do the compensation on a listing agreement, which way do you prefer? What is the cleanest route to go? Just broker to broker as usual?
That's completely up to you. There are some agents that are doing the broker to broker. The last 3 deals that I put through were broker to broker transactions on the buyer side. My listing agreements, I'm still doing broker to broker. But I have to offer that to a seller to let them know that they have the opportunity to do a seller to broker, buyer's broker agreement. And people have been asking me, how are you doing? So if I sign a listing agreement for, I'm just going to pick a number out of the air and say 6%, and then I'm offering 3% to a buyer's agent, and do I have the right to advertise that 3%? Yes, I do. But why would I cut my seller's feet off? So if an agent calls me and says, are you offering compensation? Yes, we are. How much is that compensation? Well, it depends on your offer.
Okay,
If you
we
bring-
can answer that.
Yeah, if you bring us a full price offer, my seller is willing to pay up to 3%. If you are bringing something less than that, well, the seller may negotiate your compensation based on your offer.
Yeah, and that's how I'm doing it right now too. I just wanted to make sure that was the cleanest way and the best way for, the seller.
Understood. Well, thank you for asking.
So if she says, well, she will pay 3% if you offer this, but if you offer this, then she will not pay that anymore. They can do that.
Absolutely. You can say the seller is going to negotiate the buyer's agency compensation based on the offer.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. Because if you bring me a full price offer, absolutely, we'll give you 3%. If you come in, $2,000 below or $5,000 below, okay, we can talk about that. But if you bring me something that's $20,000 low, well, yeah, we might accept that, but the compensation is going to change because that percentage is there. That make sense? Did I lose you? No. Okay. Two things agents should be doing right now. No, 3 things. Two things agents should be doing right now. They have to operate with more urgency. Urgency could be focus. It could be how fast they're doing things. Operate like if you knew you were going on a week's vacation in 3 days, what would the next 3 days look like? You'd be massively productive. You'd get everything done. Every lead would be followed up. Everything would be put in order so that you could go on vacation. Operate like that every day. What else? Turn up the intensity. We're more intensely following our schedule, more intensely practicing and role playing and modifying our processes and our systems so that we can do more. And simply do more. At the bottom paragraph, make one more call, send one more handwritten note, do one more follow-up, one more pop by, do more because the rest of the world is going to be doing the opposite.
I started reading The Power of One More. There's a book by Ed Milet and it's called The Power of One More. And that's
what they're
what
doing.
it talks about
Okay.
is just taking that extra step.
So the one also talked about just focus on one thing on your list, just that one thing on a weekly basis. So it's-
Okay, Bart, we are ready. Hey, look at me. We're right on time at 10:30. I pinned you to the screen. You can share. You can do whatever you want to do there. We should be able to see you, and I think we can hear you as well.
Okay, hang on one second. I of course have to sneeze.
God bless you.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you for having me at your meeting, Brian. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And let me go ahead and it says it needs to allow. Okay, yeah. And share that. Can you see that now? Okay, yeah.
Yes, sir. It is loading.
Great. Okay. Super. Well, thanks again for having me, folks. For those of you who haven't met yet, my name is Bart Marchioni. I'm Senior VP of Customer Success here at RealScout. And if you didn't know, our company was founded by real estate agents for real estate agents. As a matter of fact, I was a realtor myself. I sold homes for 10 years in the San Francisco Bay Area before taking a break to help start the company back in 2012. So we've been at this for almost 13 years now, helping agents and brokerages all over the country get success with our platform. So I'm excited to be with you today and give you a brief overview of the system, because a lot has changed since we first launched a few years ago. So I want to tell you all about it. And here's the topics. We're going to start off with an explanation of what RealScout is. Now, again, things have changed. So we have a new way of describing how RealScout fits into your business. We call it the engagement loop. So we'll start with that. And then we'll talk about some details. I'm going to give you a nice high-level overview of the system, about adding your contacts to the system and nurturing them with the different types of alerts we have. We have a brand new feature called Auto Nurture that can help you guys get results automatically. And you can monitor engagement and use your mobile app to do that as well. So we'll show you how the whole system works. All right. So shouldn't take more than like 15 minutes or so. You know, we will leave some time for Q&A at the end. But if you have questions, jot them down and we'll make sure to answer them at the end. Okay. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, as I mentioned, folks, you know, when you first signed up with RealScout, it was a fairly simple platform that was primarily for just working with buyers. And it was about personalization. Our listing alerts for your buyers were personalized, or are personalized, I should say, to their preferences. And they get some really great response rates. And the platform was for working just, you know, for agents by themselves. With our latest version of RealScout, we add some functionality for working with sellers. And we introduce automation to help you get results without having to do a lot of work. And then we also have some functionality for teams to work together. I don't know if you folks have any teams there at your company, but there is some functionality there. Okay, so that's what RealScout Pro Plus is all about, this new advanced feature set, which you all have access to. To kind of bring it all home here, we have this concept called the engagement loop. And we put together a short explainer video that will help you understand how it fits into your business now. Okay, so let's go ahead and watch this. It's only 3 minutes long, and then we'll get into the details of how it works, okay? So hopefully this will play and you'll be able to hear it on your end. If you can't, just wave me down, we'll figure it out. Check it out.
The consumers in your marketing database are at various stages of their real estate journey. Buyers, sellers, and the vast majority of them somewhere in between. And at every stage, it's critical for clients to access the most reliable and actionable information, such as which listings are hitting the market, what their home is worth, and how much their neighbor's home sold for. There's just one problem. Throughout their real estate journey, clients are using websites and apps that aren't powered by you, which means someone other than you is nurturing and converting business that could be yours. What if you could harvest more future transactions from your database? This model of automatically nurturing your database at each stage of the client lifecycle is called an engagement loop. Top producing agents are using these engagement loops powered by RealScout to earn millions of dollars in commissions. Here's how it works. You can set buyers up for listing alerts on RealScout the same way you would on the MLS. Unlike many IDX websites, you can create advanced searches using all the MLS criteria. or activate an integration to completely automate the process. Our award-winning listing alerts get to your clients within minutes, and they're personalized for each client using natural language. And when buyers click through, it's even more powerful than what clients expect from the portals. Because here, it's all about collaboration. Clients can rate listings, request showings, and even calculate commutes. They can leverage the power of AI to organize their favorite properties and compare them side by side, room by room. Plus, it all works great on mobile with RealScout's powerful native apps. But what if one of your previous buyers is ready to sell? With RealScout, your clients can receive monthly home value estimates and recent sales in the neighborhood. And to remind clients that professional advice is often more reliable than an algorithm, we'll direct them to you for a CMA. Your clients will soon treat your branded RealScout account as the center of their real estate universe. As an agent, you'll have complete visibility into your pipeline. See if a buyer viewed a property several times or if a seller lead is ready to see what their home is worth. And with push notifications, you'll never miss a conversion moment. RealScout is simple to implement, works alongside your existing website and CRM, and once you've added clients, it runs automatically. Need more convincing? RealScout has been ranked best in class by media outlets and major real estate brands. Tom Ferry says RealScout is for people paying attention not only to the now of real estate, but where it's going. And agents using RealScout are simply doing more business. Learn how you can automatically uncover ripe sales opportunities from your database. That's the power of an engagement loop. That's the power of RealScout.
Okay. Well, I hope that was helpful and kind of giving you a big picture overview of the system. There are a couple of important concepts in that video. First is to nurture your database. I know that's not a new concept. That's what we do in real estate, right? We stay top of mind with our contacts so that when they are ready to move, they think of us first. Pardon me. So RealScout is a platform for nurturing those people with the information they're going elsewhere to get. We know they're going to Zillow to get the value of their house, right? And they're going to Realtor.com and Redfin and so forth to see properties for sale. The problem is they're seeing other agents there who are trying to steal them away from you. Yeah, no good. I mean, they're basically advertising platforms, right? So RealScout is a private, safe environment where you and your contacts can collaborate about real estate, whether they're buying, selling, or anywhere in between. Yeah, RealScout is the most effective platform to nurture them with. All right. The other important concept in the video is automatically uncover ripe sales opportunities from your database. Okay, that's what we're going to help you do with RealScout. And if you're going to nurture your database, you've got to get them into the system. So again, I'm going to give you a nice high-level overview of the system here and how it works. By the way, we're going to circle back and do a separate hour-long training with you guys. We're going to have our member success coaches give you some tips and tricks and get into a live demo with you later on. Brian, you're going to schedule that with our team in the next coming days and weeks, okay? So for now, we're just going to kind of give you a high-level overview of the system. And so how you nurture your database is you get them into the platform. There are 3 ways to do that. And as a visual, I know you work with all different types of people in your database, right? You got your current clients, your sphere of influence. Maybe you're working a farm. And then perhaps you're generating leads through your website or even those national search portals. Some people do that. And they normally flow into a database, like a CRM. Now, we have direct connections to several different CRMs and lead sources, so those contacts can flow into RealScout and be nurtured there. In fact, we have a tool called Zapier that allows you to connect RealScout to almost anything on the market. The second way is you could import a spreadsheet. If you have a list of buyers or sellers or whatever, you can import them into your database easily on your own. The third way is to enter them manually. You can enter a new contact in one by one if you want to. All right, no matter how you enter them, the next step is to nurture them with the different types of alerts. There are 3. First, as you saw in the video, and as you folks know, listing alerts are for buyers. And these are, again, what we call natural language listing alerts, because they have these conversational, personalized introductions at the top of every email. Sounds like they were written by you. They point out interesting characteristics of the home, such as, in this case, in-law quarters, a bonus room, and a formal dining room. Yeah, and we pick those out based upon what's important to your buyers, based on their preferences. So they get great response rates, and it brings them, of course, to a beautiful search experience where they can explore these homes with you. Now, home value alerts are a new type of alert that are for working with sellers and homeowners in your database. So these are great. They are periodic emails that go out, and it brings them to a dashboard where they can see 3 different estimations of value of their home. 2 of them are automated, one from a company called Adam. It's a third-party data provider that powers a lot of other sites out there. And then the Zestimate from Zillow. You might be saying, why do you provide this estimate? I hate Zillow. I know, most agents do. But, you know, they're probably going to Zillow to get it anyway, but now you can give it to them on RealScout in a private, safe environment. You can also enter your own valuation to give them your estimate as well. And in fact, you can configure these so that they perhaps show just a range of value as opposed to the actual number, which will encourage them to request a valuation estimate or update from you. And that's the whole point of these home value alerts, is to generate listing appointments for you, get CMA requests, so you can have conversations with more sellers, homeowners, and get you more listings. That's the whole point. And you also get a third type of alert called market activity alerts, which are really interesting because they highlight the demand in an area. By demand, I mean how many buyers are searching. So what's cool is you can specify a location, and we'll show you on these innovative heat maps where those buyers are searching. Yeah, darker colors indicate more popular areas. And that's a really cool way to look at the market and a good complement to the other types of alerts we have. So there are 3 ways to set those alerts up. First, you can set them up manually. If you know what a buyer's criteria is, perhaps you can enter the search criteria just like you would have done in the MLS. Okay, so for example, we give you all the filters that you can use to create that search here in the upper left, for example. If you know a homeowner and their home address, well, you can create a home value alert for them manually. And again, you can create market activity alerts for these people as well. So you can do that if you know what their criteria is. You can also set up templates. Now, folks, this is another brand new feature we just introduced. It's on the left-hand navigation bar here under alerts. There's templates you can use to create, a common set of search filters, for example, that you want to use over and over again, or use to automate the alert creation for new leads, for example. There's a whole training on templates that we can go through later on. The second way to set up these alerts is to have the system do it for you. We have this feature called Auto Nurture that I know you're going to love. We have a short video that explains what it does. Check this out, and then I'll get into some more details of how it works.
You just got a new lead. Oh, and here's another one. And another. And your database may have hundreds or thousands of potential buyers or sellers. Now there's a way to nurture all of them automatically. First, RealScout invites clients to kick off their real estate journey with you. Then we pick up on clues about which listings they're interested in and share similar listings using natural language. And potential sellers receive updates on their home's value, providing them with the answers they used to go elsewhere to find. But from now on, all roads lead back to you.
Okay, interesting, right? There we go. So what Auto Nurture is going to do, excuse me, is try to create alerts for you. So if it sees, what the buyer's criteria is in your database, it'll set up a listing alert for them. If it sees a home address on the contact record, it'll set up a home value alert for them. Now, if there isn't any information in the contact record to determine that, well, the system will put them on a drip campaign to figure it out. As you saw in the video, the first email invites them to use the RealScout platform with you. Hey, Michael, here's your RealScout account. Do you want to look at new listings or track your home's value? So depending on what they do on the site, we will set them up with a listing alert or a home value alert and just send them popular homes in the area so that it just automatically keeps them engaged. That's the point, is to set it up so that these new leads are engaged automatically. Now, there's a whole section on the auto nurture functionality on the left-hand navigation bar under auto nurture. You can read about what it does, how it sets up those alerts, and there's some functionality to make sure that the right people are being nurtured in the right way. So it is configurable because it's not really a one-size-fits-all strategy. You really want to make sure that the right people are being nurtured automatically, and then other ones may be manually nurtured by you. So again, in our training, we'll show you how to do that. The third way to get new contacts in the system is to attract new leads. Now, we've introduced some features and functionality recently that help you get more leads. Who wants more leads? Who wants more people to work with? Everybody, right? So check this out. We have a brand new feature called search links. I know you're going to love this. This is pretty cool. Check this one out.
RealScout is the best place to automatically nurture and convert your leads. With our new powerful search links feature, it's easier than ever to attract and capture leads at the top of your funnel. Create a shareable link by selecting a home search template you've built with RealScout. Whether it's homes under $600,000 in Nashville, high-rise condos in downtown LA, or lakefront cabins in Maine. Then choose a display name and select from a large library of professionally designed preview images. Your highly specific search results can be accessed with a permanent link. Share your search link on social media to capture new leads, or leverage the links for PPC campaigns to enhance your targeting. You can even embed search links on your website to capture buyers who are interested in specific markets. And agents are already using them in direct messages with clients. Once your search links are out in the world, you can track how they're performing and automatically funnel new leads into high engagement nurture campaigns. So what are you waiting for? Unlock sales with every link. Introducing Search Links by RealScout.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah,
So-
where is that located in the app?
So on the left-hand navigation bar, there's a let me see. It's down at the bottom. It's under extras called search links.
I see it. Perfect.
Okay, cool. You start there, and it will ask you to use a template to attract a specific type of buyer. So again, we can go through a more detailed training on this, but if you want to look for buyers that are, I don't know, first-time home buyers, or maybe move-up buyers, luxury buyers, or maybe people looking for rentals, or I don't know, in a specific location or a specific type of buyer, you can get really creative with the types of search templates you create, then publish using search links. So it's a really cool way to, again, attract new leads. Now, what you're seeing on your screen here is the way to attract seller leads. You get a What's My Home Worth lead capture page also. So Brian, that one's under home value alerts. And then you see there's a dashboard. You click dashboard and there's a button that says capture leads. You can use this to post on social media, or run an ad, or create a QR code that you put on your neighborhood news flyer or whatever. And it will ask people to enter their address. And then the next step is to enter their contact info, and they'll be set up with a home value alert, and you've captured a lead. So that's a really great way to get new seller leads. Additionally, we just introduced some brand new, what we call widgets. Widgets are little snippets of code that you put on your website that you can use to put RealScout search on your site, or even a home value widget. So people can enter their home address and get a home value alert right from your website, and you capture seller leads. So this could be your website or your blog. This is a little bit more advanced. It's not for everybody. I understand it's a little complicated sometimes, editing your website. But if you are up for it, this is a really great way to integrate RealScout into your site. Okay, just it's there for you if you want to. It's under the left, under extras, website widgets. But no matter how people are using RealScout with you, whether it's somebody you entered manually, it's maybe a new lead that you auto nurtured, or maybe it's a new lead you generated with a search link, You can monitor that engagement using your agent dashboard. Now, this is your interface to see if they're opening your emails, or saying they're interested in a home or not interested in a home, or if they want a CMA on their property. You can respond to inquiries right there on the dashboard or using our mobile app. Folks, I know, when we launched a few years ago, the app is completely different now. I would highly recommend you download the app so that you can keep in touch with your contacts. You can schedule appointments with them. You can do searching as well, look up property information, and you can easily invite new contacts to use the app with you, use the RealScout system with you. And you can also set up home value alerts and listing alerts on the app. Let me just take a look here for 1 second. In fact, I want to show you the QR code. I thought I had a QR code in here. You know what? I don't have it. But you can go to the App Store on your iPhone or your Android device and search for RealScout. Just FYI, there are 2 apps you'll see. One says RealScout Home Search. That's for your clients. You don't need that one. The other one says RealScout Pro, and there's a little Pro icon on it, and that's your dashboard. RealScout Pro Dashboard. That's for you. So you want to download that one. I do highly recommend you download it. It's a great complement to the RealScout platform. Okay. Well, folks, I wanted to wrap up with another quick video. You know, when we launched RealScout Pro Plus, we heard some amazing success stories of agents getting really great success with it. And we put together this compilation of those success stories. It's only about 1.5 minutes long. Let's take a look at this and then we'll wrap up, okay?
Hi, I'm Gary Ashton. I have the #1 Remax team in the world.
Greetings, my name is Peter Lorimer.
Hey, this is Kenny Trump. We're currently the #1 sales volume team year to date.
Manny Mandel.
Hey, it's Chase Whitney.
I'm Melissa Sophia.
My name is Gigi Lopez.
Some of the things I love about RealScout, I mean, their home value alerts are just crushing it.
20 days after launching RealScout, our team received messages from 49 seller leads, which that represented a potential GCI of $605,000.
I signed up for RealScout about 1 month ago. The past month, I've had 2 listings.
All of our agents are on RealScout.
One of the new features that I am just floored by is the auto nurture.
When you have your whole database in there getting nurtured with market alerts and home value alerts, we're seeing engagement shoot through the roof.
It'll send my buyers properties. It'll remember what they liked, what they didn't like.
If you've been in the business a while, you've got your farm, you've got your sphere, and I can now put all of those into auto nurturing.
It's also great for anyone who's doing SEO and pay-per-click. We found a lot better success at getting people to open these emails.
I literally turned this on today, and I've already seen over 80 people sign up for property valuation.
We were overwhelmed with the results.
The auto nurture feature has been absolutely incredible. I love how sticky the platform is.
RealScout has been the best investment I've made for my business because it has delivered immediate results.
It's the best ROI that I've seen on real estate tech.
And if you're someone out there that takes your real estate business seriously, RealScout is worth its freaking weight in diamonds.
I love that last quote there. Worth its weight in diamonds. All right. Well, with that, I thought I would just leave a couple minutes here for questions. If you have any, I'm happy to answer them.
Anybody got a question that you'd like to ask Bart while we're here?
Some of these videos to like, we have to go into RealScout to look at some of those training videos.
Yeah, you can see those once you just showed her, we're literally in here.
Yeah, down in under support. I think, don't you have the helps and tutorials?
Absolutely. And it's just realscouts.com/support.
That way
and
you
can to our member support and learning center. So yep, you can get answers to common questions here. Oops, let me share that tab, share this tab. There we go. So again, on the lower left-hand corner of your agent dashboard, click support, then help and tutorials, and it takes you here. If you want to go directly, it says realscout.com/support. And here's where you can get answers to common questions. We have some getting started materials here. We have a getting started masterclass. We have a migration service. If you want help transferring some data from whatever other system you might be using into RealScout, our team would be delighted to help you with that. So take advantage of that. But folks, everything I just showed you is on what's called RealScout Pro Plus. It's our brand new flagship version, and there's all kinds of great information here about what's new, what's changed, how it works, all the different features and functionality, auto nurture, home value alerts. It's all here. And then if you do need some personal assistance, you go to the bottom, it's our contact information here. And folks, the best way to get in touch with our team is to email support@realscout.com. That way your inquiry is tracked and managed and followed up effectively. But just keep in mind our support hours are 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. All right, good question. Thanks.
Anybody else? I'm seeing some shaking heads. Bart, thank you for your time today. I'm actually going to go set my 200 people up and put them into auto nurture this afternoon. I've got 16 people auto nurtured already, but for some reason I just never put all my sphere of influence, my 200 people that I take care of every month, never put them in there. So they're going in today.
Well, that's fantastic, Brian. Sounds good. And again, we'll be following up later. You know, we work with Erica, your account manager, who can schedule a deeper dive training for you guys. Okay.
Great. Thanks, Bart. Appreciate your time.
No problem. Have a great day, folks. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. We are back. Everybody here. I'm going to pin me to the thing up here.
Hey, Brian, can we get one of those trainings set up?
Yeah, actually, we have talked about doing it, but we wanted this introduction first.
Okay.
It'll probably be after spring break when we get there. I've got stuff scheduled up until that time. But so it'll probably be late March, early April is what I'm thinking is when we would probably do something like that.
And just I tell y'all, because Andrew and I were just talking about it. He'd never used it, and he uses RealScout. If you're in your website, it's under listing tools. It's called Test the Market, and you can literally go in, put your new listing in, bedrooms, bathrooms, target price, and it'll show you how many buyers in the MLS have searches set up for that property, like that type of a property.
In fact, I'll share it right now.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a really good resource. It's similar to Brian's Fish Finder, but I think it's actually, I don't know, it's cool too.
There it is right there. So this is Test the Market.
The RealScout website.
So I'm sorry, I'm going to use my listing, which is what did I tell you?
It's right here. I got it pulled up so we can talk about it.
Okay.
4929 Rector.
4929 Rector. There it is right there. I just forgot the digits. And so 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. My target price is $290. And I'm going to put this up here. So then you wait for it to generate. It's generating that here at the bottom. Taking a minute to look at it. So if I was to go up to $305,000, $304,000, I would lose 17% of the market. But if I drop it to 275, I only gain 2%. So it's one of those things that I can show my seller. I can just take a snapshot of this and say, we can drop to 275, but we're only gaining 2% of the market to do that. It might be wiser to just hold it 290 and do something different. Like, hey, we're willing to pay some concessions in private remarks or in the MLS or however you want to put it. Things you can do. But see, even dropping it to 261 only gets me 4%.
Oh, that's such a good point. So keep your MLS listed price at whatever is the most people, and then just start advertising, marketing it differently. Where in the end, you might end up selling, profiting less, but you are still marketing to the right number of people.
Right.
I see exactly what you're saying.
Yes.
That's crazy.
And in my case, it was kind of the opposite. It was we were so grossly overpriced. I'm like, yeah, there's people looking here, but most of the people are looking over here in this price point. So while yes, there is some value in being in the hole, essentially, which we talked about with the Fish Finder, there's a gap in the market. If we can fill the gap, great. But it's just another good pricing tool. And
absolutely.
Again, market share tool.
Well, and it also just gives you and your client more of a 360 degree look at what the market is doing. Yes, I still run my Fish Finders. I still run my data reports on showing time and on Broker Pay. I'm watching those showing numbers on a bi-weekly basis, or every 2 weeks I'm pulling numbers. But having that information in front of your sellers, I commented to the guy the other day when I was talking to him when we got that offer that we were talking about on Rector, and he's like, the Google Doc that you are sharing with us every 2 weeks has kept us calm this entire 7 months because we know it's not us. It's not just us that's having a problem with our showings. It's this entire area that we're in. There's not a lot of showings going on. So it makes sense. And it's not us freaking out that you're not doing your job. That's the communication. It's that constant being in front of somebody. So if there's anything that we learned from RealScout today, other than we need to get our people in there and get them auto nurtured, because I do a mail out every month. And so I'm sending to 200 people. Why have I never put them into auto nurture on the seller side so they can get an automated report once a month instead of me just doing it like we're doing it on the CMA challenge? I'm sending out, 50 of them, but why wouldn't I have the other 200 people in there where they can get that automated report?
So
I'm an idiot.
that's my question, and I wrote down, and not necessarily with this CMA challenge, but how, like in your example, I know you use Referral Maker. Like how would you use this in conjunction with we're working the flows on ReChat. So is it like that's going to be its own separate thing, and this is its own separate thing, and Referral Maker is its own separate thing? Or is there a way to connect RealScout to ReChat?
That's coming this year. Integration is coming.
Okay. And I saw I
there's
bet you can do Zapiers between the two. But I just don't know what the integration would look like and what the benefit would be.
Yeah. And that's something that I think that you really have to dive down into, how it works best for you. Because every process that I have, I can give you guys every process I have, but it would overwhelm some of you, and some of you would be like, that's stupid, Brian. But it works for me.
Yeah.
Just like everybody here and everybody online has their own process. That's completely fine. That's the whole point of it. But look at this heat map right here at the bottom of this thing that we just looked at. We can actually get into the heat map of where the buyers are. So I'm going to drop down here to where my listing is, which is right just south. I got to go south. Hang on. I got to get down a little bit further south. And I can see that right in here is where this is where that house that I just pulled up is. And look at the heat map. There's no heat. What a great snapshot in time to show a seller. Look, your house is right. Let me see. Rector is right there. Right? Is that Rector? I'd probably have to get down to it. There's McCart. Let me jump down one more street. I think it's right. There's Bill Glade. I know it's right there. I know it is. Hang on. Am I missing it?
I'm watching too. I don't see it. I don't know where Rector is, but I'm seeing it on here.
Well, it's right off of 20. And then I turn underneath the cart. It's right in there. It's right in that area right there. And so there's just no heat. There's not a lot of buyers looking in that area. But what a great picture to send along with it. I think I may do that this week is actually do a heat map and go, here's what's going on. So
you also have two houses on that street that are for sale for $249 and $250 on the same street.
But they're 1,500 square foot. Mine's almost 21.
You're the biggest in the neighborhood.
Best bang for the buck in the neighborhood. For $30,000, you can buy 500 more square foot. Well, and this is a very particular neighborhood as well. So, hey, I'm going to let you guys go. It's 11:03. Thank you for your time. Everybody that joined us online, thank you. I'll put the recording up, have follow-up in Slack this afternoon, and hope to see you all next week. And I'll let you know where we're going to be. Again, probably at midnight over on Camp Bowie, but until I hear back from them, I can't confirm that. But we will meet somewhere. Thanks, guys. See y'all later.
I don't know a lot about it, but that's what I use. I use that tool, and then I do like it for the search. I've just found that some people can't get